Hey everyone, it's Lawrence Mack here, real estate broker out of Mississauga and Toronto and founder of Real Estate Rookies. And today we're going to talk about referrals and networking. To give you an idea about myself, this is my numbers from last year. I had approximately 50% that were from referrals and about 50% that were from my sphere. The main one is geography. So let's just say you needed help in like London or Collingwood or Peterborough or something like that, and you're in the GTA. Referring out to somebody in a different location is really helpful because they know the local area, and also they're local so they don't have to drive as far. Because for example, maybe you don't know anything about farms, or you don't know anything about, the zoning in an area way out somewhere, and you don't know much about septic tanks, that kind of stuff. Most important type of referral, in my opinion, would be sphere referrals. So sphere referrals are people who know you, like you, and trust you, and then they refer you to their aunt, to their friend, to like their dentist, whatever it is. These are like gold. It's a relationship that I built up over many years, and so I have lunch with them, I have coffee with them, whatever it is, and hopefully you get a referral. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's just a professional relationship in which you share ideas, mastermind, that kind of stuff. Nothing wrong with that too. So a lot of the people, especially the lawyers, mortgage people, that kind of stuff, they will tell you two things. One is that when people talk to them about real estate, it's at the end of the transaction. So sorry, I don't have any referrals for you. The second thing they'll tell you is, I know hundreds of realtors, and so you're not going to get any referrals. That's actually what happens. That's not what they will tell you, but that is what will happen. Because at the end of the day, yes, they are at the end of the real estate transaction, and they do know, like hundreds and hundreds of realtors. That is sort of the situation with professionals. So don't waste, in my opinion, too much time. There's been situations where they referred somebody over and then they forgot about it. And like a year later, I'm like, oh yeah, here's your commission money. And they're like, who are you? Like, what is this? And that's because I actually really maintain those type of relationships. And so although you might have forgotten you giving me the lead, I didn't forget, and I have it in my notes. That particular deal didn't work out, but it's not the idea, right? I don't care about that particular deal. It's about the relationship over the next 20, 30, 40 years that matters to me. Rookie mistakes in referring. The main mistake I see is a standard post. Hey, I just got in the business. This is my first week. And then you post all over social media. The mentality that referrals are going to fuel your business, I think, is the wrong mentality to have. That's what a lot of them have. That's what I had when I started out. It's very difficult that, John Smith or Mary Sue or something in the middle of Peterborough says, hey, I'm new agent here. Give me all your referrals. It's like, what? Why would I take like a trusted client in GTA and give it to you when you're new and you have no idea what you're doing? Why would like your brother or something like that refer like their best friend and you just started? It's very difficult. So don't get mad when they don't refer you. And also don't get mad when they don't even use you, because again, you're new. People know you from what you were before. The programmer, the housewife, the electrician, the teacher, the entrepreneur, whatever you were before, the student, you were this before. A week later, you're like, hey, can you trust me with your $1 million house? I'll sell it for the most money. Like, if it was you, would you do that? The answer is probably not. So these are a bunch of random topics that I came up with. A lot of people charge maybe about 25, 30%, something like that. It says, hey, here's a lead, here's 25, 30%. Or similarly, if you want to refer a totally cold lead like that, maybe you may not want to expect as much, 25%, but that's between you and the other agent. Similarly, internationally, when I refer out to like US, I did one to Puerto Rico last year, rough numbers about 25, 30%. This one's also pretty contagious, number 2, lifetime referral. What that means is some people do it on a per transaction basis. You give me a lead, I give you, say, 25%, and then we part ways, and now it's my client. Some people like to do the lifetime referral method, which is you refer a lead, and now I give you a percentage lifetime for that particular agent, for that particular lead. My preference is lifetime referral, both when I refer out and refer in. So if you refer into Toronto, that's basically your client, and I will give you a percentage lifetime. Formalize on a contract. So my very first referral, which is in London, was a verbal one. Basically, hey, can you deal with this? Yeah, great. On signing, when it was closing, hey, sign this referral form, no problem. Then I signed it, it all got done. That is the best way of doing it, in my opinion, but it may not always work. So the reason why you want to formalize a contract is, again, because if you refer it out to some person and the person does not pay you, now you might have some type of legal recourse. People feel that whenever you have a contract, it's like magical. It's like, oh, that guy owes you 25%. So a magic wand gets waved, and then all of a sudden you get 25% in your bank account. That's not how it works. How it works is, hey, you owe me 25%. And the other agent says, screw off. You're like, wait a minute. So then you try like going through the broker records or something. You try communicating with their manager. That doesn't work. And then now you have to like sue them. Judge says, yep, looks like they owe you the money. And then now you have to collect on the money. Like it's a very long process to get the money. It's not just a magic wand saying you get the money. Similarly, when I talk with a lot of rookies, they think the same thing of BRA. Oh, a BRA signed for whatever the percent the BRA is. So if I don't get paid that much from the listing agent or as a co-op, I magically get the money. It's like, you don't magically get the money. All the contract says is it was an agreement between you two, and now you have to actually go get the money. And you go get the money in a BRA, for instance, through arbitration. After arbitration, you go through like, small claims court, then you try to get a judge to get a ruling, then you try to get the money from the person, then you try to collect. Like, it's a long process. It's not just magic. All the agents and even clients that I deal with, I want to deal with one person, in my opinion, that's reputable, who's ethical, who I like, who I want to deal with. But you want to work on a deal where, for example, like my first referral deal, where basically I'm just a handshake and a phone call, and then it's done. And then now we just write the paperwork. That's the type of relationship I want over the next 20, 30, 40 years. That's the type of relationship I expect to give people when they deal with me, because of the same reason. If I screw up one deal and I make a few extra $1,000, like now I don't get any other future deals, and I don't get any deals from any of their friends. Like, why would you do that? It just seems very short-sighted to me. Out of Canada, internationally, US, Puerto Rico, any other type of countries like that, it's the same thing. I will try to get the paperwork signed, but I mean, at the end of the day, if the paperwork is signed, but they don't pay me, or they don't pay me the right amount, like how am I supposed to know? And how am I supposed to get the money back? So you sue internationally, you get some judge to say, okay, he owes you the money, and then what? You somehow garnish their wages out of like Puerto Rico? Like, how does any of this work? I have no idea. Right? It's very difficult. Everyone has a different fit, and the agent I refer may not be the right fit for them. So I usually try to give one or two when I don't have an established agent. It's the same thing with other agents. Like, okay, yeah, no problem. They're happy to, yeah, give me. That's great. I'm happy about that. But like, if you're just a taker, you're not going to give anything to me. Not that I personally care, but my family cares. They would rather I spend time with people, with agents, with Sphere that will help our family, as opposed to spending time with people that will not help my family. So for example, the friends that decided not to buy or sell with me, my wife is just like, why would you deal with them? And I don't really deal with them that much, because it is not worth it for my family for me to spend time and money and effort to, help out that particular family, have lunch with them, help out their kids, whatever it is. And then at the end of the day, they just don't even think back. Like, they're purely in the taking mode, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. If you're taking mode, not a problem. I just had to learn to identify it quicker and then cut you out of my life. And the main thing I'm looking for, at this point, I'm very experienced in that I know what bullshit looks like. I know roughly your level of production. I know roughly your attitude. I know roughly what you do. So it is very, very easier for me to figure out who might be a good match. So some of it is just a personality match. At least I can tell if they are relatively new and experienced just by the way they speak and the things that they talk about. And so that's what I'm looking for as well. But if you find someone who's like up and coming in a new city, maybe you have a new relationship there, and then you can start building that relationship. So I'm always about relationship building, both with my Sphere and with other agents. That's all I do all day. That's the things I enjoy.